All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to be demystifying chiropractic care, what it is, how it works, and how it can be a natural path to relieving pain. So, if you've ever been curious about it, you are in exactly the right place. So, let's just start with a question that, let's be honest, probably hits home for a lot of us. Does that nagging back or neck pain feel like a constant, unwelcome guest in your life? It's something so many of us just try to push through, but man, it has a way of creeping into everything, doesn't it? I mean, think about your workday, right? That constant, dull ache can make it almost impossible to focus. Suddenly, a productive day turns into just a slog, where you're just counting the minutes till you can go home. And then, when you finally get to call it a day, the pain doesn't just clock out with you. Nope, it follows you right to bed, making you toss and turn, and it completely robs you of that deep, restful sleep you desperately need. But maybe the biggest thing, it just limits you. This isn't just about being in pain. It's about losing that freedom to move, to play with your kids, or just bend over to tie your shoe without thinking twice about it. It really starts to chip away at your quality of life. So, what is actually going on here? Well, chiropractic care zeroes in on a very specific root cause, the idea that your spine is basically out of sync. Okay, so there's this word you're going to hear a lot, subluxation. Now, it sounds super technical, but the concept is actually pretty simple. It just means there's a misalignment somewhere in your spine or your joints, and that little shift is enough to interfere with how your body is supposed to function naturally. It's not just about bones, it can affect your whole system. And this is where you really see that ripple effect in action. That one little misalignment can be the direct cause of so many things you might be feeling. That chronic tension in your shoulders, pressure on nerves that causes weird sensations, not being able to move freely, and yep, even those recurring headaches and that persistent pain. It all traces back. Okay, so we've kind of pinned down the problem. So what's the solution? Well, the main tool in a chiropractor's toolkit is something called the adjustment. So what is an adjustment, really? I think a lot of people imagine some kind of forceful cracking, but that's not it at all. It's actually a very gentle, very precise, and controlled movement that a trained pro applies to a specific joint. The whole point is to restore normal motion and guide that joint back into its proper alignment. And what's so cool here is how it breaks down the whole process. First, you've got that precise movement. That helps improve the spine's alignment. Step 3, that improvement takes the pressure off those irritated nerves. And then, and this is the best part, it basically flips the on switch for your body's own natural healing process. So what happens next? What are the actual results? Well, when your body is properly aligned and can start healing itself, you get this amazing cascade of benefits that go way beyond just, my back doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah, this slide is perfect because it really shows you the two big wins here. On one side, you get that targeted pain relief you came for, less back pain, fewer headaches, you name it. But on the other side, you get all these awesome overall health gains, like better posture, more flexibility, and even more energy and better sleep. And check this out. This really puts it all into perspective. A whopping 40% of people go for back pain, another 25% for neck pain. Then you've got headaches, posture, and even just general wellness. So if you're dealing with any of these, trust me, you are far from alone. Okay, so naturally, whenever you look into something like this, a few big questions pop up, right? Is it safe? Does it actually work? So let's tackle those head on and build a little confidence here. And yeah, here it is, the big one, the question that's probably on everyone's mind. Is this stuff actually safe? And the short answer is a big, resounding yes. Chiropractic care is widely recognized as safe and effective. But, and this is the super important part, it has to be performed by a licensed, trained professional. They know what they're doing and they tailor the care just for you. I think this quote just nails it, you know? It gets to the very core of the philosophy. This isn't about putting a temporary band-aid on the pain. It's about digging deeper to fix the actual mechanical problem, that root cause, and that's why the relief is so often long-lasting. All right, let's tackle a few other big questions real quick. How fast does it work? Well, it's different for everyone, but a lot of people feel a change within just a few visits. Can it fix you permanently? It gives you long-term improvement, for sure, especially when you pair it with healthy habits. And who's it for? Pretty much anyone. Desk workers, athletes, you name it. So, if you are thinking about giving this a try, what should you look for in a provider? Well, you want someone who creates a plan just for you. No cookie-cutter stuff. They should use modern techniques, and most importantly, they should really listen to you. And hey, it's a huge bonus if they've worked with people who have a lifestyle like yours. When you really boil it all down, all the techniques, all the science, it all comes back to one single powerful goal. And that goal is simply to help your body do what it's designed to do: heal itself. The whole point is to improve your quality of life by getting your body back to its natural, healthy state so you can get back to living the life you want to live. So, I'm just going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Seriously, take a second and ask yourself, what could you achieve? What could you do if your body could move, function, and heal at its absolute best? Think about that.